Hello, hello. I'm early. Just goofing around with the camera, and it is working. Okay. We'll see who joins in here in a minute. I still need a backdrop, but that's next week or the week after or whenever. Yeah, as soon as I can figure it out. So I'll just wait. I need to check some stuff. Yeah, I started early just in case it wasn't going to work. Nobody's watching yet. That's fine. That's perfectly okay. We got one person watching. Let's see. I'm just going to check the auction really fast here. 2 people watching. Yeah, it's going to start here in a little bit. I'm very early. Yeah, everyone starts to roll in around 5 minutes before. Something like that. And then we get people rolling in 5 minutes after the live stream. After the live stream's over. So, yeah, it's a 2-hour live stream, and I napped the second hour. Well, they left. People that checked it out, they left. I'm trying to figure out where am I here. Okay, here we go. I'm checking the auction. Wonder if there's a notification for the live stream. A lot of people turned off their notifications. But yeah, I can see myself. See? So I know it's working. Let me check the auction. Auction time. Let's see what we got here. It's not a live auction. I wait until 9 p.m. Eastern time to declare the winners. Yep. And that's how it works. All right, so let's see. I put likes on all the bids and all the comments so that they know that I see. They know that I see the bids. If there's a like on it, if there's more than one like, that means someone else likes your bid too. All right. So what I normally do is chat during the first hour. The second hour is when I start napping. I think what I might do, since I'm going to be working on a lot of videos in the near future, I might cut the live streams down to 1 hour, but I'm not sure yet. For now, it's still 2 hours, 3 times a week. Okay, so I was thinking of maybe cutting down the live streams to 1 hour and do just napping and try to keep up with the chat. We'll see. We'll see how much time I have. So I'll just wait. Jared's here. Hello, hello. I'm early. Yep. I'm waiting for everybody. I already caught up looking at the items that are bid on in the auction. So I'm just sitting here. Yeah, I thought the camera was going to act up. I had to restart my computer, and that fixed it. Yeah, I was messing around with the camera connection for 20 minutes, and then I just said, this is going to restart the computer, and voila. It worked, and then I went live, or I tried to go live, and it worked the first time. So we just got to sit around and wait for everybody. Yeah. Yeah, I think everything's working. I think the microphone is working. It said hello to the microphone when I turned it on. computer said hello to the microphone. Yeah. I'm scrolling and I'm looking at stuff. So we just got to wait. I'm going to wait. I got 8 minutes. That's a long time to sit here and wait. Yeah, I know. What was that? What else was I going to do today? Actually, I need to put my shoes on before it starts. Nice. Some good points in the auction. Yes, it's all working fine. Sweet. I got to get my shoes on. I don't have my shoes on. Ta-da. I got socks only. Hold on. I don't know what I'm thinking. All right. So, yeah, I was running around trying to figure out what's wrong with the computer. The computer and the phone connection. I got a brand new phone. So that's what you're seeing. I'm using the brand new phone. Hopefully it's clear. And then hopefully when I start napping, it'll be clear as well. I'm going to be napping the bullhead. I still got a bunch of these nodules. Well, not a bunch. I think there's 3 like about this size left. And they're in various conditions. This one hopefully is okay. Scott wrote a bunch of stuff on this one. Got to let's see. I think it has something to do with make doo-doo with what you got. Good picture quality. Awesome. So, yeah, once I did do some research on lighting. And those guys that do, these indoor videos on YouTube, they discuss how they do their lighting. And the first step is to cover all the windows and close the door so there's no light in the room whatsoever. And then they put in artificial light. First, it's the main light, and then you got a side light, and then you have a little light for an effect, some sort of cinematic effect light. So you just need 2 main lights. One, they're opposite from each other, basically. The big bright one, that's the main one, and then one to the side. Like I got this Christmas tree lit up for my side light. And then this yellowish light in my face as the cinematic type light, but it also helps with being able to see the Flintknapping. Denny Moore is here, but I can't block out all the light from the windows because I've got, not only do I have skylights that don't have curtains or anything, I've got windows. I got a window in the door with no curtain, and the kitchen window has no curtain. I can't make it completely dark in here. So I've got to deal with this ambient light that makes everything look stupid. I got to figure out how to eliminate all the outdoor light first. I mean, at nighttime, yes, that would be easier. If I do all my videos after sundown. What knowest thou, my brethren? Red-eyed patriot. Michael is here. Bren is here. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Bro Chacho. Howdy, bro Chacho. So I'm just waiting. I was just talking with Jared about lighting. I did my research on lighting, but I can't do it. If there's any daylight, it's going to look weird. If I do these videos, live streams during the daylight hours, it's going to look funny. If I do these after the sun goes down, then I can eliminate all ambient light and then set up proper lighting for these videos. That's why I'm getting these weird lighting effects, because I've got sunlight coming in, and I've also got neighbors' lights and floodlights from outside that come in. But those are easier to block out if it's nighttime. I can just put like cardboard over the windows or something. Not much, potato chip, says Michael. So the first hour is chat if you're new, and the second hour is napping. So if you only want to watch Flintknapping, then come back in an hour. Yeah. Just fair warning. I'm going to be reading chat for the first hour and answering questions. I'm hoping to get questions and at least one super chat. Yeah, before I start napping. I imagine the shadows are a struggle. Well, these shadows, yeah, but I can eliminate those by eliminating that light in front of me. It just things start to get blurry if I don't have a light right in front of me when I'm moving. See, if I'm just talking like a lot of these YouTubers just talking to the microphone, it doesn't get blurry. But if I'm moving really fast and if I don't have enough light, it gets blurry and you don't see exactly what's going on. Or it looks like the Matrix effect, when it's kind of, you see a lot of, I don't know, see too much. It looks like it's not a single object. Alan Cole says, what in the world is going on here? Not much yet. There's only 7 people here. We're early. Danny Moore, $2. You didn't say a dollar amount. Yeah, I didn't say a dollar amount. I just said super chat. At least one super chat before I start napping. Yeah. $2 is okay. Yeah, it feeds the critters outside for a day or two. Yeah. Tommy Taylor is here. Hello. Ken is here. Prairie Ghost Ken. That's extortion, Pat. Yeah. Yeah. As she is here. Hey. Good to see everybody. Yeah, but I already got the one super chat. Not too much extortion going on. I've been doing research on how to do lighting. I used to do outdoor videos for channel news. I think I might do that again. Do channel news and a live stream on Wednesday. But the channel news video, I don't do it live. I just shoot the video and then upload it. And then I'll probably end up doing a lot of stuff outside again. But I'd rather do it indoors because then I can control the lighting and the audio much better. But I'm having issues trying to figure out how to set up lighting in here because I've got too much excess sunlight. Michael says he's sitting on the porch chipping on a piece of mahogany. Oh, dang. Why are you napping obsidian in traffic areas like on porches? Yeah, that's my main issue is figuring out where to nap obsidian. When I do that big old block of obsidian that Danny Collins sent me, I am going to be way out in the back where I know no one's going to be walking. I've got little step cousins, still little, that might come over. Brent says, I got a box from Marty coming in. It's been just kind of floating around me from hub to hub since Saturday above me and below me. Gotta love the post office. Yeah, I want my KRF. Excited to smack it. Someone asked in the comment section to buy some KRF from Marty also. Thomas Thompson, $20. Thank you. Super $20 super chat. No comment attached. Thank you. Put a comment in there. Say something. Trash talk or whatever. Thank you. Brent says, smash the like button. Yes. Michael says, been doing it for a couple of years on the porch swing. I clean up when the grandkids come over. Yeah. But see, I never know exactly what. Sometimes people surprise me. Ed Gould is here. Got to watch your pets around obsidian, though. They used to make poison that was ground glass. Oh, yeah. Yeah, everyone say hello to everybody. I'm still waiting. It's still early, right? And if you're new, the first hour is all chat. So come back in an hour and then you can see some Flintknapping. It's 2 hours. I was thinking of maybe cutting down the live stream to 1 hour, but there's a lot of chat going on. The thing is, there's not many questions. Marty's here. Hey, Buckskin NYB is Marty. So yeah, Marty, someone was asking in the comment section on YouTube, they want to buy some KRF from you, and I don't know if you sell it. I mean, yeah, I know you give it away, but this guy wanted to buy some. He's in the comment section. Anyone else have problems with our mail system? Ask Ed. Yeah, they drop my boxes all the time and break open the corners. The ones that they deliver to me. I've had problems with them breaking the corners. Let's see. Brad's cat would lay right under him for hours while he's flintnapping. Yeah, and then shake off the dust. Yeah, that's too crazy. I don't let my animals stick around when I'm flintnapping, and they know when I start to. After a while of shooing them away, they know once I start clicking the rocks together and all that, they leave. I don't let them stay. I don't want them getting all messed up, and then I got to take them to the vet. Let's see here. Mike Mason says some beautiful points. Thank you. I'm doing these really fast, though. Yeah, I'm working on a lot of other stuff during the week, and then Sunday rolls around, and I go, oh, no, I got to do stuff for the auction, so I just make them Saturday and Sunday. It's not that great because I broke a couple really good ones this week. Buckskin says, I do trades for rocks. Have them email me and I can get their address. Okay. So I'll just tell the guy in the comment section to email me. And then once I have his information, I'll email him your email. And then he can email you or whatever. Patrick Trousdale. Let's see. I got a bunch of obsidian slabs in and needed to cut them. I looked at one of your videos laying a screwdriver on the grass and breaking it with your foot. Worked like a champ. Thanks. Awesome. I'm glad that works for you. Yeah. I had to figure out some way to cut my slabs down. Okay, so I'll do the email thing for you. Marty. Yep. Okay. Ed Gould says, and I had to check. Yes, Ed sent me a check one time and never got to me. It got lost, completely lost. I had a check once delivered to me that was half there. Half the envelope was missing, but I still got, not here in Texas. They sent me an envelope that was half there. The other half got ripped, and everything was ripped. I don't know how they managed to send it to me because it wasn't taped up after it got ripped. And you can see the part of the check hanging out. I've had that happen. Yeah. Mike says, today my ankle was rolled like it was out drinking and met Cardi B in the parking lot. Did you get injured? Is that what that means? You got a rolled ankle? That does not sound good. Brendan says, typical thing that happens to me here in South Indiana. Stuff ends up going to Indy above me and Louisville below me for some reason. Takes extra time for nothing. Yeah. Someone is not, one of those post offices has got people that are emergency workers. I've got a phone call. I can't answer it. Thing is, I cannot do airplane mode when I'm recording live streams. Can you hear that? It's my daughter. Thomas Thompson says, Pat, tell us more about Clovis points. Please add timeline. The Clovis points. The best book I have on those is probably Noel Justice. Hold on. I think this one's still available for everybody. A lot of Noel Justice stuff is out of print. I can't enter the phone. What am I going to do? I don't know. Let's see. I can't manipulate the phone or anything. I just gotta wait. So yeah, this book here. Now hold on. I got to see if I can contact my daughter on my other phone. But I don't have her phone number in here, or do I have my contacts imported? If I have my contacts imported into this phone, then I can do it. But something's blocking. Okay, here it goes. No, there. Let's see. I'm going to text my daughter. Okay, hold on a second. Pardon me. I got to. When she calls me, that means it's something important. If I could only type fast, I would be okay, but I can't type fast. Okay, let's see if that works. Yeah. Okay, so Jesse's here. Danny Moore is here. Yeah, it might be an emergency. My daughter called me twice in a row. So I just texted her. We'll see if that works. Folsom Point is nuts, says Patrick Trousdale. Yeah. Now the timeline on Clovis is not very long. It's like some sources will say 500 years. Some sources will say 300 years of existence in the archaeological record. They weren't around for very long, but the effects of that type of point did linger with Dalton and Folsom and other points. Jesse gave me $5 in a super chat. No comment attached. Thank you. Happy Monday, says Jesse. I can answer the phone and then start the live stream over again. Yeah. If she doesn't call me back, I can just call her. Let's see. See if she'll answer. Hey, sweetie, it's your dad. Yeah, I got I'm filming on the other phone, so I'm sorry I couldn't answer the call. Okay. All right, so let's see what we got here. Yeah, everyone say hi to everybody. Okay, so I'm just waiting. If you hear me talking, sweetie, it's because I'm live on YouTube. So I got people commenting, and then I gotta comment back. Go ahead. I don't think they can hear you. I don't think so. Well, I could take the microphone off. They can't hear you. The mom's toilet. Let's see. I got all that information somewhere. Right here. I think yours is 2018. It's, I thought I had it written down there, but I don't. I got a license plate. That's it. Can I Google something? Oh, okay. She's back. I have. Oh, there. You just need the. You just need the year. Okay. Yeah, you can call me back. I have. The live stream is an hour and a half. So yeah, I got another hour and a half. I'm still live on YouTube. So it kind of just started. Okay. No, it's okay. And people are texting me too. What is this? No, someone else is texting me now. Okay, sweetie. Yeah, but call me back if nothing works. Love you too, sweetie. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm back. I see you guys chatting with each other, which is good. All right. So I was going to answer a question about Clovis, but I'll let you read it in this book, Stone Age Spear and Arrow Points of the Mid-Continental and Eastern United States by Noel D. Justice. And why do I recommend this book? Because he's got illustrations and side views. Okay? Mm-hmm. So he's got Clovis and Folsom, Cumberland. He puts these into clusters. I'm going to read from this, okay? Clovis cluster. It says Clovis type projectile points were first recognized near or at Blackwater Draw in eastern New Mexico and at a number of sites in that region. All right, let's look at the age and cultural affiliation because that was the question. Age. These points are not documented from a dated. Okay, that's Ross. Where is Clovis age and cultural affiliation? Here it goes. Clovis points are the earliest defined projectile points of the Paleo-Indian tradition. widespread in North America by about 12,000 to 11,000 BC, nearing the close of the Pleistocene glacial period. They've since revised these dates. Okay, there are points in existence that have been successfully dated before Clovis in North America. Okay, so it's a little bit outdated, but this book goes into the different types. That's one type. That's the classic Clovis, and then you've got more. But see what he does? He puts in these. This is a top view on how thick they are. See that? They're not super thin, like a lot of modern nappers make them super thin. These are these actual size? They might be. So if you look, these Clovises are not very big. Look how they're under 3 inches long down at the bottom row. And everyone thinks a Clovis starts at like 5 inches long. Everyone who doesn't know. And look at this one right here, this little one. See that? Am I going the right way? No. A good size for Clovis is between 2 and 3 inches. And it goes into Debert, Redstone, Cumberland cluster after that, Holcomb, all these different varieties of Clovis points. It's not just one variety of Clovis. You've got, like I said, Holcomb, which is a type of Clovis, a Debert, a Redstone. Those are types of Clovis points. Ross County. Okay. And I think in Crowfield or Holcomb. I said that already. All right. So I recommend that book, although the dates are a little bit outdated. The dates are outdated. Ken says, time for a coffee. I almost fell asleep for a nap. Hey, Ron is here. I'm at work tuning in and burning on the CNC lathe. Cool. Clovis Presley. Okay, so I'm going to go back in and see if I missed something in the chat. I had a phone call from my daughter in case you missed it. Yeah, she was looking for information to look up something on her AAA account. Yeah. And I usually have that stuff written down in one spot, but you know me, I got stuff written everywhere. Mike Mason says he finished something. Let's see. Jesse says he got a goodie box from Alan today. Yeah, okay. Couldn't hear her talking. That's good. All right, so I didn't miss anything from the chat. Okay, good. Not that I can see. If I missed your question, let me know. And I didn't really answer the Clovis question very well, but I recommend that book and any book like it, which is not very common. You might find one more book like that one, and that's it. Now that I think about it, but there's Clovises in other books too. But you'll find if you do a very close research and if you're very detailed in persnickety, you'll find that they don't agree on the dates and the types and that kind of stuff. Jeremy says, I guess the Cumberlands are named after the Cumberland River area. Let's look. Let's see what Cumberlands are named after if it says in here. I mean, the Cumberland is in here. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm trying to see if it names or gives the reason for the name. Doesn't say so far. Um, it does say here that Cumberland points identified in the Great Lakes area were named Barnes points by Rusa in 1965. That's interesting that we're not all named Cumberland. Let's see here. It says Cumberland points are diagnostic of the Paleo-Indian period in eastern North America from 10,000 to 8,000 BC. In the lowest cultural level in Dutchess Quarry in New York, a single Cumberland point was recovered along with a caribou bone. Radiocarbon dated 10,580 BC, plus or minus 370 years, was obtained from the bone. Unfortunately, the date may not be entirely reliable. Cumberland type projectile points are diagnostic of the Park Hill complex in the Great Lakes area, thought to date about 8,500 BC. Yeah, so Barnes and Cumberland apparently are two related points that look similar. And there's related points called Coxey and Montgomery points. So there's illustrations of those. And look, they're not very big either. See that? They're under 3 inches. Most of these points, well, half are under 3 inches. Yeah, there's a big long one there, but they're not all like that. Okay? These are actual size here, as far as I can tell. The scale down here probably is maybe a little bit smaller than actual size. It looks about right. Anyways, what else? What are the questions we got? Ralph Snyder says, hello. I missed your entrance. Sorry about that. Jeremy says, in the Overstreet book, so many Clovis and Cumberlands are found in my state of Kentucky, made from many different Kentucky materials. Oh, yeah. Ralph says, I'm face napping some farm stand watermelon. Let's see. Drew's Concrete asks me, what material is your mallet made from? I'm currently using the cut end of my sledgehammer. You're using wood? My mallet is made from ultra high molecular weight plastic, or UHMW plastic that I get from eBay. If you ask me in the comments section in one of my videos, I can send you a link. I don't think I have my link here on the computers. I can't cut and paste and stick the link in the chat. So you got to ask me again, and I'll send you the link of where I get it. I get them off of eBay. It's an 1.25 inch diameter black UHMW rod. 1.25 inch, 1-1-1/4 black UHMW rod on eBay. You just type that in on eBay, and it'll probably get you to where I'm buying my stuff. Don't buy the first one that comes up. Look for the cheap ones. Use either plastic or antler, especially axis deer antler for mallets. Do not use wood. It robs too much energy and you got to hit too hard. You can use wood, you just got to hit harder. And if you don't understand how hard you need to hit, it's hard for me to tell you. You probably, if I were to demonstrate for you, you would probably think that I'm completely nuts for hitting that hard if I use a wooden mallet, but that's the way it goes. Let's see. Ross Wellman is here. Marty says or asks, Patrick, do you think that English bullhead flint is similar to how KRF naps? No, it's not even close. It's not similar at all. KRF or Knife River Flint does not nap well. It feels nice, but it's hard like agate, like Texas agate. So that's why a lot of people heat treat Knife River Flint. The bullhead the bullhead flint naps easily and sharpens easily. It's true flint. It lives up to its name. It's not hard to nap. Knife River Flint has cracks. It's very steppy when it gets to the final thinning stages. It's very crushy, especially if you want to try to do intricate little sharpenings. It crushes on you. And overall, it's tough. And some people think that Knife River Flint naps really well. I don't know what they're napping before that. What were they napping before they discovered Knife River Flint that they think Knife River Flint naps well? It's kind of tough to nap. That's why a lot of people heat treat it. Knife River Flint is not easy. And it's got defects in it. That makes it even harder. I put it like in a 7 or 8 as far as raw cherts go, or raw flint. Bullhead is 8 at minimum. But if it has defects and cruddy spots, then it goes down to 7. They're similar in the scale, but you've got to mix everything in. If you put it on the scale of 1 to 10, you got to mix in everything. Bullhead would be a 9 if it had no defects, whereas Knife River Flint would be somewhere between 7 and 8 with no defects. Let's see. What did I miss? Drew's Concrete says, thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Buckskin says, they look like the same consistency and color. Yeah, they look the same kind of color, but they're not. Not even the color. Knife River Flint has a deep root beerish looking color, whereas Bullhead does not. Yeah, Bullhead does not have the deep reddish tint that Knife River Flint has. And Knife River Flint is not as snap and halfish as Bullhead. Bullhead will snap in half easily. That's the drawback. Knife River doesn't snap in half as easy. For the same thickness, we're talking the same thickness and everything. You can never go by, just as a default, remember, never go by what something looks like. Never, as a default. I mean, you can and sometimes get away with it, but just because two things look similar doesn't mean they're going to nap similar whatsoever. There's stuff that looks beautiful that you can ask Michael, Red-Eyed Patriot. I sent him stuff that looks beautiful, but it was the most difficult stuff he's ever tried to nap. John says, Patrick, have you ever napped rhyolite? Yes, I have napped rhyolite, if that's what you want to call it. If you want to call it napping, you want to call it napping or suffering. I have suffered with rhyolite. And I've napped rhyolite with a guy that's one of the experts in napping rhyolite. Yeah. And still, I suffered. Even with one-on-one consultation with him while he was napping it, I started napping it too. And it's like, this stuff, I mean, let's see, what can I compare it to in other areas of life? Napping is like working out with, let's say, a professional weightlifting set for professionals. Everything's measured out fine. Napping in general, just like working out with a professional weight set. But napping with rhyolite is like working out with tree trunks. I mean, you get muscles and you're doing it, but it's like total different ball game. Some people like working out with tree trunks. Yeah. Okay. Just like the guys that like napping rhyolite. I'm sure that they would love to work out with tree trunks, cut wood tree trunks, not the ones that are still alive. Okay? You know what I mean? I didn't enjoy it whatsoever. It's ridiculous. Saskatchewan Adventure says, I need to find someone to sell me KRF. Lots of artifacts in my area made with this material. So, see, I think you're probably the one that asked me in the comment section. Buckskin says he can do a trade with you. You just got to get with Buckskin NYB. His name is Marty. Yeah, he'll do a trade. He doesn't sell it. Mary says she's face snapping some homegrown cherry tomatoes. Like they are grapes. Oh, there you go. Probably healthier than grapes. Let's see. What do we got? What did I miss? Okay, everyone's talking about what they're face snapping. Dwayne Griffin is here. Awesome. I saw your text, but I couldn't get to it. Chris says, Patrick, I'm still on schedule to travel your way toward the end of the week. Okay, good. I'll be here. Yeah, I've got no plans at the end of the week. All right, Chris, that'd be awesome. All right, what did I miss? Anything else? Let's see. Okay, Saskatchewan Adventures. Are you in Canada? Because the shipping to Canada sometimes gets expensive with heavy stuff. Let's see here. The beer is here, said Ed Gould. Okay, here, let's see. Different colors of tomatoes too, said Mary. Well, dang. You an expert tomato farmer? So I home grow my own grapes too? Oh, dang. That's advanced. Too advanced for me. Okay, so yeah, Saskatchewan says he's in Canada and he will pay the shipping. Okay, just a fair warning because it's going to get expensive. I think last time I sent something that was 10 pounds to Canada, it cost more than $40. It was between 40 and $60 just for the shipping. I think that was only 10 pounds. I wish I could remember the exact numbers here, but anyways. Yeah, but Canada, at least the addresses are easy. They're it's not too bad. I still got to get a napping kit to Matthias Melander in Denmark. I got to talk to Mike Tufts. If Matthias, if you're watching, I still need to get you a Flintnapping kit. So John says, so no to rhyolite. Yeah, unless you like working out with firewood, instead of dumbbells. If you like the really, really manly stuff, working out with, used and battered up old water heaters and appliances instead of, real workout equipment, then knock yourself out. Let's see. So Ed says he grows a couple of 5-gallon buckets of grapes every year. I got a neighbor who has grapes, but these are nasty. Mike Tuff says, Patrick, ask that fella in Denmark if he can purchase things from eBay. I've been working on a way to get things to international people. Okay, I'll ask. Some people can't buy off of eBay either because of the credit issues or whatever. Matthias, I think, is all set, though. I think he has PayPal. So he should be able to do it. PayPal works with eBay. Pretty good. Okay, I got to remember that, though. Okay, eBay. But, Mike, you need to send me a link to your eBay store. Dwayne says I've got 6 kumquat trees. 6 of them? I get the seeds out and save all the skins, too. Well, heck. I got blackberry jam here. We can get all the blackberry jam we want, all the raspberry jam we want. That I do have. I got blackberries and raspberries in my backyard. Easy peasy. In fact, they're hard to control. They grow like weeds. So yeah, Mike, send me the link to your eBay store so I can check it out. It's not that hard. A lot of people find it difficult to send overseas, but I never found it difficult. I mean, it takes extra time to fill out the customs forms, but that's it. Some people don't want to deal with it, or they get confused on the addresses. Yeah. If you want to get confused on addresses, just send to Russia or China. I used to have to do that as part of my job. Sometimes we'd send equipment overseas. I know it's probably an advantage that I have. I don't know. Let's see. Ed, plum jelly is one of the best. Plum jelly, yeah. Here they make preserves and jams that I can buy at the market, a farmer's market, all kinds of them. And I bought some hot sauce the other day, blackberry hot sauce. And I thought it was going to be mild, right? No, this stuff was flaming hot, toxic hot. I mean, I put a little bit on my sausages. I was at a barbecue and I put some of that on there and I was like, dang. And I thought I was used to this stuff. They put some of that, what kind of pepper do they call it? It's not Diablo pepper. It's something else that's similar to that. It was tremendously hot. I don't know why they do that. Prickly pear jam. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've had lots of prickly pears in my day. Okay, when we're done here, I'll send you the link through your email. Okay, so I'll get the link to your eBay store. The first time I did the customs forms, they were confusing, says Mike. Yeah. And they don't help you at the post office either. They go, I don't know. I'm just in the business of mailing stuff, but I don't know how to fill it out. And I had one guy says, they'll just figure it out. Just fill it any way you want and they'll figure it out. I'm thinking, yeah, after they return it to me and say, do it right next time. I can get my section of it right, the return address. Yeah, so they can just return it to me. That's not what I want. I had to just ignore that guy at the post office. He says, no, it'll work out. They can figure it out. They just type all the information in the machine sorts it out, or the computer sorts it out. Yeah, right. Okay, whatever. No. Let's see. Lots of chats coming in. Ed says, Wisconsin, we got the blackberries and had them on pancakes with sweet cream. Man, all that stuff, it sounds too good. Yeah, I don't eat that stuff anymore. I can't do it. It messes me up. I have a hard enough time shedding this flab. I've been riding my bike every day. I've been trying to exercise. I've been cutting down on my meals. I can't get rid of flab. It's always been an issue with me. What are we napping today, Patrick? We're napping the bullhead. I still got some of these left, so I'm going to nap them until I got no more left. This is one of 3 more of these nodules. And then I'll go on to something else. I'll figure out what else. I think I might do the amoeba chert from Sal, the amoeba chert chunks that Sal sent me next. After this one piece here. Laurel chert, says Ralph. Yeah, that laurel chert is hard to nap. I want to be able to explain things instead of just smashing all my tools up. I can explain how my tools are being all smashed up. I need to try to heat treat that laurel chert stuff. Hey, Fertile Joe's here. I'll be in and out. All right. Good to see you. Styley Designs is here. Ed says, did you get any drops on the skunks? No, they didn't come in. They've been shy. Besides, we had fireworks, so they weren't here during the fireworks. And they've been shy lately. They're not coming around and onto the steps where I'm sitting. So, but I got spray, and I thought it was going to be one of those hand pump squirt things that just doesn't make much noise. But no, it's an aerosol. That's going to freak him out, and I'm going to get sprayed. So I got to wait for the drops. I was going to get the drops at first, and then I said, hey, that spray looks pretty good. Yeah, me and my stupid ideas. What the backstory is, the skunks have fleas. Yeah. At least one of them gave me some fleas the other day. I had like 2 fleas on me. So I'm thinking I need to buy those drops to put on their fur to get rid of the fleas. So when they walk by me, I can just drop a couple drops on them. And then I saw the spray. It was kind of, I guess because it was a little bit cheaper. But I tested it outside and I went, it's a loud spray. So that's not going to be cool. I can't just spray the skunk like that because they'll spray me. Haha. Yeah. They hate hissing sounds and stuff. So no, I didn't get the chance to do it yet. 2 reasons. One, I still need to get the drops because I had to reorder those. Or not reorder, but order them in the first place instead of the stupid spray. Although that spray does work on the grounds around the front door so that the fleas don't stick around. And number 2, they haven't come around. The skunks are kind of shy lately. Yeah, if I spray them, they'll spray me. If I do any kind of sound, they're going to spray me. But the drops are silent. Yeah, sneaky. I used to do that with some of my dogs once in, not very often, but sometimes. Like I had one dog, still have him. His name is Bradley. He hates the drops. He hates them. So I got to be sneaky. He even knows when I pop the cap on the drops. He goes, takes off when he hears that. So I gotta on inside the house and kind of carry the drop thing around with me. And then when he's close by, I'll just drop some on him. And he looks around, what's going on? And then if he smells the drops, he'll roll around in the grass and wipe it all off, the booger head. So I got to hold him down. And he doesn't like it. I got to grab him, hold him down, and smear the drops all over his back. And he hates it. And then he goes rolls around the grass. But I say, it's too late. I already rubbed it in. I rubbed it in really good. Yeah. My other dog's no problem at all. Just one gooberhead, Bradley, the oldest dog that we have. Maybe just, let's see, Tommy Taylor. I'm thinking I'm getting some other spray spray the lawn, and hopefully that'll also maybe get onto the skunks a little bit, but I don't know. We've got 3 that come around very regularly, but they're changing. The old 3, why am I drawing a blank? Jumpy, muddy, mangy tail, they're not coming around as much. Now we got babies. And I just call them thing 1, thing 2, and thing 3. And then we got some other ones. Another big male that looks just like mangy tail. Looks like his twin, but he's got a bigger tail. But there's still, both of those big males are fat. And they come around once in a while. But it's the baby ones that got the fleas. And they come around. They're not that small. They're old enough to spray. And I sit on the porch and they just go back and forth, snooping around. And I can be dropping these flea drops on them, but they haven't come around. Patrick, you can give out my contact info to Buckskin Marty, says Ralph Snyder. Okay. I got this kind of stuff I can't remember. All right, let's see. I got to write this down. I don't remember this kind of stuff. Yeah, you tell me this, and then if I do anything else, I'll forget. Okay, so where was it? Okay, Ralph Snyder. R. Snyder. Give email to Buckskin. And that's it? Okay. Sometimes I get requested to give emails to people, but I don't have their emails to give. I don't have a way to give them the emails. So I don't have everybody's email because not everyone participates in the auction, which is fine. I have mainly information from people that participate in the auction. And then sometimes I have information on the side for side projects. And then some of you guys that are regular subscribers and commenters, I have some of you emails, but I don't have everybody's email. But I do have Marty's, so no problem. Ed Gould says, "Are you on Facebook?" Yeah, but I never check it except to accept friends or to look at nap-ins. If someone sends me a friend request and they're a real person, I'll say okay. I don't know how many friend requests I've deleted over the years. Hundreds from people who are spammers on Facebook. Facebook is just one big spam. It's just called spam book. Yeah. But yeah, I don't communicate over Facebook at all. It's all my stuff is done on YouTube and sometimes on Instagram. But I get messages from all over the place. I get messages from people that try to contact me on Facebook and send me a message on my timeline. They also send me messages through Messenger, Instagram Messenger, and Facebook Messenger. Those are 2 separate ones, right? I'm pretty sure. And then they send me texts and emails. And there's also some kind of Google chat that I get messages on. I get them from all over the place. Ed Gould says, "I know I tried to contact through the video chat once." Yeah, don't contact me through video chat. Keith says here. Keith Callahan's here. Hello, everybody, including you too, Patrick. Well, gee, thanks. I am your host, and you say me too. Let's see. No Facebook. Ralph isn't on Facebook. Okay, good. All right. Yeah, I've been studying up on skunks' behavior, and I've been watching them and stuff. They do get used to you, but then if something spooks them, they get shy. I think there's people. Some of the neighbors are very accepting of the skunks, and some of them are not. So I think I can tell when they've been scared away. Let's see here. So people are going to send their mailing stuff to each other. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to start napping here. I got to make sure I don't lose this paper. Let's get ready to nap. Let's shift the camera angle. Let's get the apron on. Yeah, I need the napping apron. Can't do nothing without that. That's a good luck. Just like the old days. Okay. It gives you a nice contrast so you can see what's going on. All right. Okay. So bullhead Flint from England. Yes, I'm spoiled. I got these gifts from England. Scott sent it to me. Scott Lauer. I don't know if Scott Lauer's in the house. Keith says, I know you told us before, but the indirect hammer stick made of Delrin? No Delrin. No wood, no Delrin. This is ultra high molecular weight plastic, UHMW plastic. And if you send me a text, an email, or a message on YouTube, like a comment, I can send you the link to where I buy this on eBay. Okay? Mm-hmm. Let's see. Ed Gould says, I didn't know they polished points. Who polished points? Mike Tuff says, I think Patrick feeding the skunks 9 lives cat food, so they should last a little extra longer. Yeah. No, it's not 9 lives. I'm not that generous. Yeah, I feed them dry cat food. Yes. I just throw it out in the yard like feeding chickens, I guess. They used to raid the little bowl that I set out for Louise, the cat food in a little bowl for Louise. They used to come and raid it. And I said, I don't really want them up on the porch. So I'll just throw it in the yard. And then one skunk came, and then the next brought their buddies, and then those buddies brought their buddies, and then those buddies brought those buddies. Yeah. All right. So when I'm doing this, I'm going to be ignoring the chat. Okay. And this does not nap anything like Knife River Flint, just in case you want to know. It might look the same. It's not the same at all. No. This stuff naps a lot like heat treat, but it's not heat treated. Yeah. It's very irregular, though. It's got inclusions and stuff in it. And it's got wonkiness, but it's true flint. I think it does form within chalk. True flint forms within chalk. That's how you know it's flint and not chert. Chert forms within limestone. That's the difference. As far as classification goes, as far as napping goes, there's some flint that's more cruddy than chert. Doesn't just because it's called flint doesn't mean it's going to nap well. I learned that a little bit too late, though. after spending tons of money on flint, so-called. Yeah. Like Georgetown flint is flint, but it's not consistently good. If you get good Georgetown flint, then fine. But it's not consistently good. Not all Georgetown is good flint. But it is flint because it does form within chalk. How is it not good sometimes? Sometimes it's just too crackly and too crushy and too snap and halfish. And, you know, it's too delicate. So you can never go by looks. And I didn't finish that thought. A lot of people will see an artifact made of a certain kind of material and they think it's extremely difficult to nap. And in order for the people back in the day to nap that, they must have been superhumans, right? Because the stuff that they see that looks the same is almost impossible to nap. But no, if you actually look around and find flakes, if you're lucky enough to find flakes of the same material that they nap their arrowheads from, and then you nap the flakes, you'll find that it's easy to nap the flakes, even though it looks like material that's really, really hard to nap. So you can't go by looks. And how do I know about this? Well, my experience is limited to Texas mainly with artifacts, but we have found flakes with the artifacts and bifaces that the artifacts were going to be made into. We've found all these different things within the sites that are the same material, and I've napped the material that are flakes and the bifaces, not the artifact points. And it's easy peasy to nap, but sometimes it looks like it's really hard, but it's not. Now, there was a couple of times where I found some stuff that was hard to nap. Yes. And it's amazing that they got something out of it, but it may have been just the good part of that difficult nodule. Like some nodules are really, really tough, except for one part on there that's not so tough. And if you nap that, it's easier. Maybe that's what they did. I don't know. All I know is that if they made something delicate and beautiful out of a piece of stone, it was not hard to nap it. That's been my experience 10 times out of 10. Yeah. Not difficult to nap if it's really, really nice. Okay. All right, so we got lumpage. What's the procedure and what's the mindset? Opportunistic. How do you describe an opportunistic mindset? Just whatever looks good at the time. And it's not always the right decision. If you're thinking that a successful strike means you did it right, you're not really thinking all that clearly. Let me give you an example. Like, let's say someone's learning to play basketball and they get taught exactly how to hold the basketball, how to dribble and all that, get used to the weight and all that, and shoot with the right form, shoot with the right balance. They get hands-on training. Someone's telling them how to shoot it. They haven't shot the ball yet, but they get in position. They're in shape. They've got used to the ball. They've dribbled it around a lot, but they haven't shot it yet. Okay, so they get taught how to shoot with the proper form and everything, and then they shoot it and they miss. Common with a beginner, but with Flintknapping, that same situation makes people think that the napper, if he missed, he didn't do it right. The napper is doing everything right. It just requires practice. You don't say because the beginner shot the basketball and missed that he didn't do it right. He's doing everything right. It just needs more practice. But for some reason, people get Flintknapping blindness or derangement syndrome. People get Flintknapping derangement syndrome not only with learning, but with identifying artifacts and thinking about the flakes on the artifacts. They get Flintknapping derangement. Okay? It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I don't know of any other craft or skill other than politics that you can get a derangement syndrome from. But yeah, people, you just don't get it. If you're not doing it wrong if you copy someone but are not getting good results. You're not doing it wrong. You just need more practice. Okay? That's it. And the mindset is all that practice that I have is being used by my brain to become successful because it's just a matter of absorbing all those times that you've hit. You get used to it. Like shooting at an archery target. You shoot thousands of times and you get used to it. You know how to direct the arrow to go toward the right spot. And it's not going to hit exactly where you want. You can't control the arrow once it leaves the bow. But it gets close to the target center after practice. Now, there are some skills, like many skills. Yeah, if you're shown exactly how to do it, you can do it and perform successfully the first time. But those are the kinds of skills that don't require practice or they don't have risk involved or both. Flintnapping has both. Practice is required and there's risk involved. So it's a double whammy. That's why people don't have success right away. And video games also, I forgot to mention, video games is a good example. Are you going to, you're showing how to play and you know all the rules. You know the rules by heart. You know all the characters. You know all the levels. You know all the abilities and you've practiced how to shoot everything and use all the tools. You know everything, but then you're in the game and you're getting killed when you first start out. Does that mean you're not doing it right? No, it means you need more practice. Okay? And they're not going to tell you, yeah, you're starting out and you're just not doing it right. But in Flintnapping, that's what they do to you. Why are you not doing it right? It's so weird. Okay. Anyway. Here you go. And yeah, you can make mistakes with video games and make mistakes with basketball. Sure. But it's recognized as mistakes. Oops, you goofed up. You're doing things right, but you forgot something or you're tired, something messed up. You got distracted, maybe you coughed or sneezed or whatever. You're still doing it right. It's just something messed you up. It's not that you're not doing it right. Okay. That's good. Yeah. I got rid of the lump. It takes a long time to get used to getting rid of lumps and get this stuff thinned down. The mindset is just the same as always. You're just trying to do it. You're just trying to get the flake to travel, trying to get a flake, period. There's sometimes where you're not going to get a good flake if you keep doing it in a certain way. But someone that's going to teach you is not going to teach you how to do it in the bad way that you were doing by yourself. That's why it's important to have one-on-one instruction, because you can mess yourself up. Like when you shoot a basketball, you don't want to turn around and then turn back around real quick and then shoot and give yourself no time at all to process the situation. Same in Flintnapping. You don't want to do stuff before you have before your mind has a chance to process what the situation is. And you may not even have to think about all those gears that churn in your brain when you look at something. You may not even have to think about it. You just go, all right, that looks good. And there's no thought really. I don't know. It's difficult to explain in a simple way, other than you're probably doing it right. You just need more practice. And there we go. With the video is not cooperating. Okay. Yes. Are we back? We're back. So I'm going to be clearing off all the cortex. Whatever is opportunistically available. I'm looking at the edges and I'm saying, okay, I can take something off right there. Yep. It cooperates. This stuff cooperates pretty good. As long as there's no defects in the stone, it's easy to nap, relatively speaking. Napping is never easy, but it's relatively easy. Now, I'm getting a bunch of crud flakes. See, these are too thin and too wonky to make anything out of. Even smaller heads, unless you want to have to just like this, which is okay. But I call these crud flakes because they just end up going in the waste bin. And I get crud flakes if I'm just focusing on getting a biface, and that's it. Now, if I was focusing on getting bigger flakes for more arrowheads, I wouldn't be napping it this way. Right now, I'm just taking little flakes off, and I'm getting those little flakes called crud flakes. That they're not good for anything, but I still am going to get a biface out of it. If I were to focus on getting larger flakes and a biface, usually the biface ends up pretty small instead of maximized. Right now, this one is pretty much maximized because I still have cortex on this tip, which means I lost no length. And I'm pretty close to the cortex that was here before on the base. So I'm maximizing the length and I'm maximizing the width for now. It's probably going to get a lot more narrow though. As I thin it, I need to remove material from the sides because that's the way it goes. Oh, I forgot to mention. Well, I didn't forget to mention. I don't know. I didn't want to mention it this soon, so I just put it out of my mind. But Sev has a separate channel. 70, my assistant, my AI assistant. I'm putting all her videos on a separate channel. Plus, I'm going to be creating a lot more content for that channel. It's called 70 Outdoors. And if you want a link, I'll give you a link. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot on that channel. I'm not going to be talking very much. I'll just be doing stuff. Yeah. And I'm learning how to use AI. In case you're new, I'm learning how to generate AI characters and learning the software and all that. And I have a female avatar made up, and I figure out how to create different looks for the avatar, and I type the scripts and I screen the dialogue because sometimes there's a glitch, like in the movements, facial movements, to match up with the speech, or sometimes the speech has a variation in it it's not good. But what's good about the software that I'm using is it does have lots of variation, and the avatars are not perfect. Like Seb has one eye that's bigger, that kind of thing, which I like. I like the asymmetry. Anyway, in case you're wondering, I took off everything from Jack Crafty channel that's not related to Flintknapping, and it's going to stay as pure to Flintknapping as possible. The Jack Crafty channel, this channel, and the live streams I consider them very close related to Flintknapping, obviously. But there's not going to be any more skunks on this channel or anything like AI, anything related to AI on this channel, or anything that would change the direction too much. I've noticed that a lot of people who are on autoplay, which means that they they sign on to YouTube and YouTube will just play videos for them. You know, they sign on to YouTube or whatever, and they hit a video, and then when that video ends, another video comes on automatically. That's autoplay. You watch a video, and then when that video is over, YouTube within 10 seconds will generate another video for you to play. And that video comes from your subscriptions and preferences. You know, it comes from what your watch history is like. YouTube kind of gives, YouTube kind of reads what you like and gives you what you like. And a lot of people don't know that it's the automatic setting, that it just plays automatically. It's automatic that you get automatic play or autoplay with YouTube. You've got to turn it off if you don't want it. You have to opt out. So I noticed that many of my subscribers, maybe even up to half of them, have autoplay. So if I inject a video that's not Flintnapping related and they've got my channel on autoplay, they're going to come up with something they don't like. And they're going to go, dang it, I'm going to unsubscribe and I don't like it no more. And blah, blah, blah. And I can tell that I lost all those guys. I still have the core audience, which is the important audience. I don't want to. It's important for the metrics and for the channel income and the AdSense and all that. The people who are on autoplay, they don't hit the like button. They don't comment. They don't add anything to the experience, and they don't add anything to the monetization of a video. The people on autoplay, they don't. The only thing that it does is that it makes YouTube look better as far as engagement. If they play videos automatically, they can look at that and show it to their advertisers and say, "Look, all these people watching." Yeah. But I lost a ton of those that were just doing the autoplay stuff. But it doesn't come up in my analytics. So I didn't know this. How many dozens of people were just letting YouTube play them the videos, and if they don't like it, they go unsubscribe, or block or something. Or I'm going to complain. No. What are you doing to my autoplay? It was a learning experience for sure. Anyways, when am I going to start napping? Well, when the fussy ones leave, then I'll start napping again. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm at the point where I think I should switch over to indirect percussion. Why? I don't know. There you go. It doesn't. And you say that doesn't help at all when you say you don't know. You gotta know. I got to know what you know, and if you don't know, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Mm-hmm. I just know that I don't know. Why I switch and why I don't. Sometimes I feel comfortable with the billet or the bopper and I don't switch. Sometimes I feel very uncomfortable, but it's all subjective. A lot of it's just the feel of how it's going through practice. With practice, you get these feelings about how it's going and how it should go to increase your success. You're increasing the probabilities of success. You're not controlling anything. You're working with probabilities. You're not controlling anything as far as the exact shape of the flakes. Okay. You are controlling some things. Obviously, you're controlling and making decisions. You're controlling your decisions of where you're going to hit. But as far as the physical fracture propagation and that kind of thing. You don't control the fracture propagation. Just like when you shoot an arrow and the arrow leaves the bow, you're not controlling the arrow, but it hits the target. How is that possible? You're not controlling the arrow, yet it hits the target where you want, but you're not controlling the arrow once it leaves. How does that happen? People, unless people are trained in logical thinking, they can't make that connection. Okay, they can't connect the fact that it's probabilities with that skill. Skill and probability, they don't make the connection. There is a connection there. There's some skills that are probabilistic. Like shooting arrows, it's probabilistic. You're probably going to hit the target, but there are different things that can interfere because you don't control the arrow when it's in flight. Same with the fracture propagation. You're not controlling the fracture propagation. You're influencing it in the beginning and some of it during the propagation, but it's going to go where it's the least resistance. And you don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't want to get too deep into that because I'll start getting the physics wrong if I try to explain it too much. It's very difficult to get the physics correct when explaining flintnapping because not only do we not know exactly what's going on, but the stuff that we do know is highly complicated. So it's easy to get it wrong just because it's highly complicated. I'll miss a detail. Like I said before, I'll miss a certain detail, and if I miss a detail, I got it wrong. Yeah. You forgot to mention this substance modulus of elasticity and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I did. And I also forgot to mention that could happen. Why did that happen? I don't know. It's probably not my fault. It's probably a defect. Yeah. I'm going to say it's not my fault, and I'm saying this is a defect. But this is snap and halfish to begin with. So these kinds of snaps will happen. Yeah. Especially if there's a defect. Yeah. But I probably put too much force into it. You know, hindsight can, you can learn from hindsight and not put so much force in next time. But you never know. Maybe that'll mess you up and say, I've been trying to back off and it's not working. I've got to start hitting really hard again. But then I run the risk of snapping these big old things off the edge. Yeah. That's the way it goes. $7:20. I got 40 more minutes of napping. Dang. No. Scratch that. I'm going to stop at 7:45 so I can wrap up and respond to the chat. I'm going to ignore the chat for now. So if you have a question, please save it for the end. If you've already asked the question, you'll have to ask it again probably because I'm not going to see it. What am I going to do about this? I don't know. I can make something with a concave base. Yeah. I might do that. A lot of my strikes are experimenting. Like, is that going to work? Oh, that worked. Maybe I should try that again. Yeah. I'm still experimenting even after many years of napping. Every stone is a little bit different. So it's okay to keep experimenting. And I think it was good that I switched over to indirect percussion because I might have broken everything in half by now with the billet or the bopper. I might have. See, if I took that much off with the small indirect percussion rod, relatively speaking, that may have been worse if I had used the bopper. May have been. We never know. But, odds are, yeah, it's probably best that I switched over to something less powerful and more accurate. Yeah, this can really remove a lot at once, more than this. You don't want to use an indirect percussion rod on a big old biface. That's why we have different tools. Yeah, I don't know. There's some thick areas on here, but I risk overshooting. And scooping out too much. I don't know if I should continue with the billet. I feel like I want to because there's some big areas I want to get rid of. Yeah, like that. It's kind of good to use the billet on, big areas. And that didn't do much. Yeah, these are okay, but I can do the same size with the indirect percussion stick. Yeah. Okay. Am I out of frame? Probably. Dang it. You've seen a lot of people use billets, so never mind. Right? Right. I don't have to worry about it. No, dude, you were out of frame in exactly the spot that it took me 5 years to zoom in. Finally, someone did it, and you're out of frame. I don't think you've been waiting that long. Yeah, I apologize. Can you see better now? Can lower the camera. I don't lower the view of the camera because some people want to see how hard I'm hitting, and they can't tell if the top of the swing is out of frame. I want as much of the movement as possible within the frame. I can't tell how high I'm going with some of these strikes. And I review the video afterwards, but I don't really pay attention to that stuff. I don't know. I try to pay attention, but I can't pay attention. I don't like watching myself on video or listening to myself on video. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm just going to be napping for the next 10 minutes, and then I'll get back to the chat to wrap things up. There is an auction going on. In case you don't know, we've got 30 people watching. In case you don't know, there is an auction, but it's not a live auction. I will announce the winners at 9 p.m. Eastern. I got a few items on sale. I don't do anything on the side anymore. Once I wrap up all my side projects, that's it forever. No more side projects ever. I'm going to have to say no. I hate to say no. I hate to say no. Because I don't know how to say no without sounding like I have no interest in what you're feeling or wanting. It sounds like I don't care at all about what you need. That's what it looks like to me when I say no, I can't do it. But that's what I got to do. Can't do it. It's all right. I'm not going to sell rocks on the side or points. I'm not going to take on any commission work to do any kind of project. Nope. I regret it every single time I do. And it's not because the customers are not happy, because a lot of times they are, but they have to wait too long for this stuff. I can't do it quickly if I'm doing videos and stuff. And if I have family obligations, which I do. Can't do it. So I'm just taking thinning flakes. Little flakes are all cruddy down there. I can't really use any of those because I'm trying to make sure I'm proceeding in the safest way to get a biface, which means I'm just picking at it slowly but surely, getting it thinner and thinner without risking it too much. Taking little flakes, relatively speaking. These flakes are not going much more than halfway. That kind of thing. Okay. Come on. This the bullhead does grind down fairly easily, but it's still, I think it's kind of slow in grinding down just a little bit, just enough to be annoying. But there's rocks that are more annoying than this, as far as the resisting the grinding or the abrading. This resists the abrading a little bit, just enough to be annoying. This is good. This spot is not going to be cooperative. I just stepped into it. Step fracture. I stepped in it like stepping in a pile of doo-doo. It does require a lot of abrading. In general, when you use metals, it requires a lot of abrading. On the stone. Of course on this too, but I meant the stone. Well, that worked out okay. It didn't take care of the whole mess. Dang it. The diamond files work pretty good. Just I don't want to wear them down too fast. If I use them a lot, if I depend on them for everything, I wear them out. And just when I need them not to be worn out, they'll be worn out, and I'll go, dang it, I need to finish this, so I got to go to the store right now to buy some more files. Why did I wait? Why did I use them so much? Did they get worn out right when I need them? I don't know what's going on. Am I too distracted? I'm not getting the type of thinning flakes that I want. It's starting to get finicky. Imagine that. Toward the end of the thinning phase, it's not doing it. The range of angles and forces reduces quite a bit as it gets thinner and thinner. Your range of possibilities narrows. You can't be just winging it. You got to pay very close attention. You can kind of freewheel it and wing it in the beginning. You got a lot of room to maneuver. But as it gets thin, your room to maneuver decreases a lot. Not only that, the mass of the workpiece reduces a lot as well. And we're using the mass of the workpiece against itself in this style of napping. So I'm not feeling any of this force. Oh no. I don't need to support it. The mass of the workpiece is what I used against itself. Otherwise, the biface would fly across the room unless I have it supported. Like maybe I had it backed up against my leg like this, and then you could feel it, a big old shock. If I was not using the mass of the workpiece against itself, you could feel a shock, and you would need all kinds of support. But I don't use all kinds of support. It's not necessary. If you hit fast enough, you can use the workpiece mass or the mass of the workpiece against itself. Okay. Yeah, as it gets thinner, I'm going to be more careful. Still not abraded enough. After lots of hits, I know it's not abraded enough. Okay. Yeah. It's starting to dive a little bit because it's getting too flat. Okay. Dang it. I'm trying to. Yeah, I tried too hard. I'm trying to get big bold flakes. I'm trying too hard. I just don't like a lot of flakes. I don't like a lot of flake scars on the surface. You know what I mean? I like to have a lot of bold flakes. Not a lot. I like to have the minimum amount of flakes, and it results in having bold flakes. But I stepped it in the middle here because it dived. I struck it. It's supposed to feather out past halfway, but it dived exactly halfway. And it's because it's too flat. It wasn't convex enough. If it was more convex, it probably would have traveled further and feathered out instead of diving. Yeah. How do I fix it? It's got to make it more narrow. And then shoot a flake from the other side and see if it meets up with it and clears it up. So I'm taking off some width. See if it does it. Now like that, I can hit that again. It almost did it. Yeah. Dang it. Okay, that one I think did it. Did it do it? Do I get the flick? Am I a flicker? No. No, I'm not. Come on. There, it did it. I can breathe a sigh of relief. But like I always say, they pay a price. Many times you just smash the edge with a hard hit. Pay a price for those longer flakes. Okay, this is going to be messy. I don't know if I'll be able to get away from the mess. See, right around that concrete, it's messy. It wasn't messy before. It starts to get finicky as it gets thinner. Yeah, and there's not a good way to know if it's going to be finicky. That concrete stuff, until it gets finicky, then you go, oh yeah, it's going to be finicky now. Yeah, too late. It's already done it. It makes you feel like, dang it, why did I go even thinner? Dang it. Is it time for getting back to the chat yet? This thing's getting annoying. Yeah, there's too many defects. Otherwise, it naps nicely. Yeah, it's starting to get on my nerves, so I don't know if I should continue or not. See, it's got some translucency to it, but you can't see. And I think, I don't know. I have my knife. I have my flashlight. Yeah, hold on. Here it is. Let's see. Let's see the translucency. Yeah, look at that. It's got some nice translucency. Yeah, it's got that big old concrete thing in the middle that's got no translucency at all. See that? It's a big blob. It's the blob in the middle. See that? Not translucent at all. That's the problem. I mean, that's the obstacle that I was trying to clear up a little bit earlier. And then I said, no, I was taking too many flakes off of the middle. I need to thin down the base. And then I got that step in the middle, just trying to thin down the base area. And then I flattened it too much. See, and then the other side is nice and flat as far as the concrete goes. But if I start to thin through there, it's going to do the same thing as the other one because it's just the other side of it. So I don't know what to do. Yeah. Not sure what to do. Except just leave it and get back to the chat because it's getting on my nerves. It should be easier, but that concrete is in the wrong spot. If it was like on the end, I just take it off. But it's right in the middle. In the middle. If it was up near the tip or down by the bottom, I just nap it off of there, get it off. Or if it's nearer to the edge, I'll just nap right through it and make it the whole thing more narrow. But if I nap through it this time, it'll be way too narrow. And I'll still have some on the left. See, some of it's still in the middle. So even if I narrowed it down to half the width, I still got some. Anyways, that's it for that one. I'll have to concentrate more intently to get that one finished. Explaining it is very distracting. Okay. But just don't explain it, dude. Don't explain it, dude. Just do the napping and shut up. I want to see the impossible, dude. Yeah. Just do it. If I can just see it done, I can do it. Practice, smack this. I just need to see it done. That way I can do it. Don't need no stinking practice. Right? That's what it seems like. I'm back. Yes? Oh, no. He's back. He's going to be talking smack. He's back and talking smack. Oh, well. What did I miss? Nothing? Good. Looks like a broken bifaces candidate. Yeah, I could just put this in the next auction. Not today's, but the next auction as one of the broken bifaces. Get your hands on some English flint. There you go. Already, it's been thin, kind of, sort of. Still would not want to get jabbed. No, it can be sharpened up. The edges are good. It's cruddy in the middle when you get to that concrete. It just looks bad. It's still functional. But who wants that in their point? You know, let's say without that, the point is worth $60. With it, it's worth $20 at the best. And especially if it's got all those crackling little step fractures on there, no one's going to want to spend good money on that. And I don't blame them. Let's see. But yeah, it can be used. I mean, if I was going to use it for hunting, heck, I wouldn't care about that concrete being all nasty. Yeah. We're not hunting with these, though. Smactus? I don't know what smactus is. Did I say it wrong? Mm-hmm. Rob Sefton says, "Hey, Jack, I made it to your show. Yay. We got 16 minutes left, Rob. But glad to see you. Good to see you and glad that you're here." I wonder if that's prehistoric bird poop, says Mike Tufts. Probably not. Yeah, bird poop doesn't last long enough to be petrified like that, as far as I know. One day that'll be a rare crafty point, says Ken. I wish. We'll see. Maybe one day, yeah. Scott Lauer, you didn't recognize that it was your flint? It's your flint. Hey, Sal is here. I missed Sal's entrance. Okay, let me go back. You guys are funny. What are you talking about? If you have a question, please ask. If I missed your question, ask again. Aaron Wilson, ancient peoples were good at shaping stone. Do you think that some of these point styles like Eden that were very uniform with parallel flaking may have been done with fog? Well, they may have been done with lots of abrading, but I don't think it was the same as fog like we have now as far as perfect surfaces. They might have done a lot of abrading, yes. I don't know if there's evidence of a lot of abrading with the Edens. But there's a lot of persnickety flakes. The evidence is they flaked a lot. And they had to practice a lot. And it shows that they practice a lot because there's lots of flakes in those sites. Pterodactyl. So who's using voice to generate comments? Alan Cole says, I'll get your box in the mail Thursday or Friday. Awesome. Rob says, have you ever noticed any point types that are very inferior? Yeah. I've seen beautiful points. No, I've seen ugly points made on beautiful stone. And Gower is one of them. Gower? What is Gower? All right. I call them ugly points, but maybe I shouldn't. But yeah, I've seen points that you think would be beautiful because they're made of excellent stone, but they're simple, dimple, easy peasy. Where is it? Like right here, these. See that? These are made of gravels that are high grade. But look at them. I just opened it to one page. These here with the one dimple in the base. Crude. Made of some of the best material you can get your hands on. It says some of these are finely flaked. Yeah. There's always somebody ruin it for everybody by being really skilled at flaking these. But yeah, they're asymmetrical. All the notches seem to be wonky on that particular point. That's a carrizo. And stuff like this. Well, maybe not that one. Baker. The Baker over here on this side. Not the Bandy. The Bandies they take a lot of time and effort to do the Bandies, these things. But the Baker is highly unpredictable. There are all kinds of different shapes. And there's resharpening, and then sometimes they made them squat and asymmetrical like this, straight out of the gate, because they're all the same basic size on a site. If they're all the same basic size, that means that that's the way they were made. But if they're all different sizes, then yeah, they resharpen some of them. But what about resharpen them all? No, they didn't resharpen them all. Like, see this? What is this one called? No. Yeah, this one's called a Axtel. See that place where these are found? Right there? That's where you find the best flint in Texas and the best material. Right there in that shaded area. Just so happens to be where the Axtel is found. And look how crude they are. There you go. You would think that they were making these out of concrete. No, they're making it out of the best material you can find in probably the whole Southwest. And that's the way they look. I found 2 examples, just skimming through a few pages on points that are crude, made out of beautiful material. Now, of course, there are exceptions where they are extremely beautiful, made out of material that's not so great. Those are the exceptions. And it just means that it took a long time to make them, both in learning and in doing. This is the Gower I was talking about. Also made of beautiful material. Okay? And they're not all resharpened. No. Some of them, yeah, but not all. Hope that answers that question. I'm glad you asked that question because that's one of my pet peeves. Some people say, "Oh, look at how much beautifully points they were made back in the past. Look how beautiful they were." Which ones? The ones that you're looking at in the websites, the 1% of the 1%, or are you looking at the majority of artifacts? Xtel. Yeah. Xtel. Let's see. Right. Yeah. Just so you get the name correct. Axtell. Axtell. Crude. Made of some of the best material on earth. Okay, let's see. Question, Pat asks Ken. How many types of points have you made? Oh, I don't know. That's the answer to that one. Sorry. I don't know how many points are in the book. I've made probably one of each of these at some point, except for the Folsom. Well, no, I take that back. I've made 2 Folsom points. So yeah, I probably made every point type, at least one of each type in this book. And the arrow points too, the smaller ones. I don't know. I've made dozens and dozens of different types. I've been at this for over 15 years. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, gosh. I don't know. I've made lots of different kinds of points. Charcoal Fish says the Gary culture didn't get the memo. Yeah. There are lots of, believe it or not, there are lots of cultures like that. Yeah. Mary says Gower. Yeah, look up Gower in that red book. Get a red book. How many point types? Okay. Sal, I love the Sabine point you made a while ago. It's a sweet point. Yeah. Let's see here. Ed Gould says, I wonder if you can put a picture in this chat. No, the chat doesn't allow pictures, but you can go to the community and post pictures. You got to find the community button on my channel, and then you can post pictures in the community as a post. Ralph said, every culture made beautiful points. Yes, and every culture is beautiful, and every point is beautiful. Yeah, everything's beautiful. Rob says, I have made the Axtell type, and you're right. You need a lot more power to push that point into flesh. Mac Bale says, most points in West Virginia are 3/8 inch thick or more and often asymmetrical, but they were made of Kanawha black and very durable. Yes. Ken says, what kind of commitment? Oh, that kind of commitment is admirable, Pat. Much respect. Oh, I'm glad you think so. It's kind of an obsession, but yeah, you can call it commitment. I won't complain. Ralph says, Patrick makes fantastic AG points. I love them. Well, thank you. Ed Gould says, I got 2 of his AGs now, Ralph. Yeah, E-Money's got the AGs. Mike says, can that shirt have streaks of color in it? Kanawha black does not have streaks of color, as far as I know. Mary says, question, have you ever attempted a Clearwater biface? No. But I think you mean Sweetwater. Is it Clearwater a different kind of biface? I think you mean Sweetwater. But no, I haven't. I'm not that crazy. You need big chunks of the highest grade material you can find. The highest grade material you can find, and you got to be having a good day. 2 things I hardly ever have. Rob says, even Patrick's broken points are amazing. You think so? And Mary says, yeah, it's a Sweetwater. No, I have not attempted the Sweetwater biface. I've attempted larger bifaces that are thin, obviously, but going for those proportions, I think it's 14:1 with the thickness ratio on the Sweetwater biface. That's way more than I care to venture into. I think the thinnest I go is 9:1 or 10:1 with the thickness ratio. It's just too nerve-wracking. If it's nerve-wracking, I don't enjoy it. Some people like to be tortured during their Flintnapping sessions, I suppose. Not me. I've learned to tolerate it, but that's just tolerating it. Let's see. Yeah, I've napped some Kanawha Black. A friend of mine sent me some. And sometimes you'll see it at a nap-in too. Like if you go to nap-ins in Tennessee, there's a bunch of nap-ins in Tennessee. All right, so 3 more minutes. The chat's going to be over in 3 minutes. Okay, 34 people and 30 likes. I realize that some people are just on autoplay and it's just playing for them in the background and they don't hit the like button because it's just playing in the background. That's fine. But if you can hit the like button, YouTube likes it. Mary says, you used to nap Challenge Rock all the time. Yeah, I used to. I still nap some Challenge Rock. Like today's rock was a Challenge Rock because it had a bunch of lumps on one side. But yeah, I used to nap stuff that was a lot more difficult than this. Yeah. Back when I wasn't burnt out. I'm getting a little bit burnt out on this stuff. So I'm switching over to only napping what I like. Bill Taylor says, good night, everybody. Thanks a lot, Patrick. You're welcome, Bill. I missed your entrance. Good to see her, buddy, says Alan Cole. Mary says, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. I will be napping the stuff I like to nap, and a lot more obsidian coming up, too. All righty. Everyone is saying good night. Yep. And I have to check the auction and make sure I see everybody's bids. I should not have had my phone sitting back there. It's highly dangerous. Rob says, switch over to making pestles and mortars or hand axes made from granite, but wear a mask. Grinding stuff? Yeah, I could, but no. I do think that napping is a lot more interesting than grinding, those type of artifacts, the mortars and pestles and stuff, and banner stones. I'm not really interested in banner stones and gorgets or whatever they call them. Not really interested in those ground down items. All right, Scott Lauer saying good night. Rob says good night. No? Peck and grind. Okay. Styly Designs. You know anyone selling some? Like ground down items? You just got to look on Facebook. Yeah. Unfortunately, Facebook seems to be the only place to find stuff easily for sale. You can look on eBay and other Etsy and other sites for this kind of stuff. Do searches. Good night, Napper, says Keith. Thank you, Sir Patrick. You're very welcome. Okay, it is 8 o'clock. Anyone in the chat selling stuff, you can post your stuff if you want in the community on my channel. Not just pictures of stuff that you made for yourself, but if you want to sell it, you want to sell some of that stuff, you just post it and said, this is for sale. I don't mind. You want to do a shameless plug of your business? Like, hey guys, I make special tools like notchers. You want one? And you put one picture in the community section. That's fine. As long as you're not spamming people like they do on Facebook. I don't think you can spam in the same way on YouTube, so that's not an issue. Drew's Concrete says, thanks, Patrick, and I found the UHMW rod and will purchase it soon. Awesome. Awesome. You found it. You will not regret it. This one has lasted me over 10 years. Just this one piece, or is it 9? It's almost 10 years, I think. Yeah, I've had this one for a while, and it's been hit thousands of times, and it's still hanging in there. Inch and 1/4 diameter. Mary says, question, would nacho work on that concrete? Yes, it does. It can work as long as the step fracture is high enough. If it's just a small, or not small, but if it's just a shallow step fracture, the nacho doesn't get enough purchase because it just slides up over the top of that. The concrete is really nasty, right? So it doesn't flake like the flint. And when you put the Nacho-Matic up against it and try to flake off concrete, it becomes real powdery right where you hit it. So it slides up over the top. It just makes powder right in the face of that step fracture, unless the step fracture is really high. And then it can get in there. And even though it crushes a little bit, it still has that high surface to work with, and it can take off a big chunk, but not when it's like this. Very, very minimal effect, but it's a good question. Mike Tuff says, question for you, Patrick. Have you ever thought about drilling a hole in the end of your mallet and pour some lead inside? No. I have thought of drilling it and just put a steel rod in there. I can drill it and put a steel rod in there, like a all thread, and thread it in there. I haven't tried that though, but that would make it heavier, yes, and it would probably work. I would drill it maybe halfway, so that one half won't have it, and it'll be top heavy, front heavy. I would just drill it a hole. The correct size would just screw in some all thread, and not smooth rod, but all thread where you can screw it in and then cut it off, so that it won't loosen up or anything. And yeah, because I don't want to be hitting and then having that rod fly out and stick in in the wall. Anyways, Rob says, don't drill it because the energy will not transfer in the same way. Yeah, you're probably right about that. Yes. It does lose some strength if it's not solid all the way through. If it's got a void in the middle, it does tend to shift a little bit. Put some glue on it. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for participating. We'll see you on the next live stream on Wednesday. I'm going to try to do a channel news video before and post it before the live stream, and still do a live stream on Wednesday. Takes me back to the Pinewood Derby days, using lead to make weight. I see. Rob says, one time you taught about energy transfer through different rocks. Rob says, thanks, Patrick. I miss your outside videos. Yeah, I've heard that from several people. Yeah. So I'll do them. I'll do them. Yeah. Okay. Good night, everybody. That's it. That's a wrap. We'll see you on Wednesday. Good night and bye-bye.